As a kid, I didn't have many friends. I know, it's hard to believe, but it is true. And of the few friends I did have, none of them played Pokemon. This meant trading was never something I was able to do, despite desperately wanting to get Pokemon like Gengar or Steelix. You see, you might not understand this, but back when I was a kid, we didn't have any online trading, battling, or one of the best features in all of the Pokemon franchise, Wonder Trading. But these days, you can connect and start trading in seconds no matter who you are. I think that's why whenever I play Pokemon these days, I spend almost all my time trading or Wonder Trading, and then reading about who owned the Pokemon before I somehow came to get it. Because I never had that awesome feeling as a kid. Since we're unsure if Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are going to have Wonder Trades again, I wanted to relive all of this with a challenge. Giving myself a day to catch 100 Magikarp, name them all, and Wonder Trade them all out into the world to spread some fishy goodness. You might think that is easy, and well, it kind of is easy, but to save time, there are two main places to catch Magikarp in Sword and Shield. The first is the far left lake in the Wild Zone. Since you can see them jumping out of the water, it means you're able to go grab them instantly, but this does require running around, and I don't like to move a whole lot. So instead, I chose Route 2, because it has a fishing spot with an 80% chance of being a Magikarp. So I grabbed 100 Great Balls, because much like you watching this, they're great. Did you like that? A little flattery? Please subscribe. And I headed down to Route 2, cast my line in, and caught my first Magikarp, which we named Carpe Diem. I thought having an 80% chance would make it easy since the odds of finding anything other than my beautiful Carpe boy were so slim. Right? No. I spent hours doing this because Choodle would not stop chewing on my rod. I swear to God, every single time you appear in front of me, I'm going to put another plastic bag in the ocean. That is the only reason this took hours, by the way. Absolutely had nothing to do with being god-awful at fishing either. Oh. Nope. After a few hours of catching, naming, running, reeling in too early, sitting and reflecting on my decisions, reeling in too late, some more sitting, catching a Choodle by accident, reflecting, I began to lose my mind a little bit, and started to name Magikarps a bit more freely. And that is it. My final Magikarp, 101 Magikarp caught, and because he's special, we must name him something amazing. Perfect. What? Perfect. Before we get into the trading, I want to show you my favorite names. We had Henry, Wilson, Krungus, Doodle, XXX Sephiroth, Cock, and my personal favorite, PU5513 Slayer. After a few hours, I'd managed to catch 110 Magikarp. I got a little carried away. But before trading my favorite 6 out into the world, I wanted to make sure they knew they were loved. So I took them camping, only to hear one of the worst sounds in the world. I want you to close your eyes and listen to this right now. Anyway, let's move on from that. I played with them a bit, they tackled me, some dude with a shiny Eevee and I made curry together, and with one final look in that gaping void that is a mouth, I knew it was time to say goodbye. I grabbed XXX Sephiroth and sent him out on my first trade. Alright, off you go, buddy. Enjoy your surprise trade. Oh no, I've just realized how long this is going to take to do all 100 of them. This isn't like I just put 100 different ones up at the same time. It's like a whole thing, isn't it? In reality, I didn't actually wait that long to get a response. Trade's complete? Okay. We are sending XXX Sephiroth over to some emojis and a love heart. Boing. This is my first one. It sets the mood. This is a good start. So for our first trade, Sephiroth went to a Japanese player, and surprisingly, I got a Gengar. The Pokemon I had dreamed of as a 10-year-old was my first Wonder Trade. And it wasn't some random Gengar either. He'd actually been caught 2 months ago and even had been used by Yui, his trainer, to beat the Galar champion. He had a ribbon. Feeling amazing, I kept going, spirits very high. My second and third trades were both Eevees, which will become a trend in these trades, to be honest. Next up, I sent my sack to a Chinese person who sent back an Abomasnow. I don't know what that kanji is, but enjoy my sack, whoever you are. A little fun fact for you, when you translate Abomasnow's Chinese name, it actually comes out as King Blizzard, which is badass. And then we got another Eevee, and I realized pretty quickly that someone in Japan was breeding and trading hundreds of Eevees. But that didn't stop me. After all, that is the whole point of this challenge, to see all the different Pokemon trainers and how they spend their time. Who am I to judge someone so obsessed with breeding and trading Eevees? I just spent 3 hours catching Magikarp and naming them after penises. So I pushed on, receiving a Japanese Vanillite caught over 3 years ago. This was going great until he returned. Bigger than ever. A Japanese player named Falcon taunted me by sending me a Dreadnought. They were trying to discourage me, stop us! But nothing could stop our Magikarp Army. I picked up the pace, sending more than ever. I got a Combee, a Litten, a gross bird in a diaper, a Nincada named Fack. Ah, Tristan, truly a Pokemon master after my own heart. But then it happened. While trying to trade my cock to someone on the other side of the planet, I got my first shiny. A level 100 Lapras, holding a Master Ball? And it's infected with Pokerus? This is amazing! Yeah, except it's totally hacked in and not legit. Sword and Shield has a pretty big issue with hacked-in shiny Pokemon, and most of the time they're named after some weird website as a way to promote people. But at least you can tell early on, because the trainers who send them over are also named after the website, meaning you don't get your hopes up most of the time. But I won't be deterred. Plus, free Master Ball, right? We kept going, quickly getting a Stuffle, a Routes, a German Litwick named Lichtil, a Milcery, Oddish, a Korean Impidimp, and then Jeff sent me this little bastard caught on Route 2. No! I can't escape them! Another Eevee, and then finally my first Charmander. I expected there to be lots of breeders sending out starters, so I was surprised to see only 2 so far. That was followed quickly by a Swirlix, a Routes, whose original trainer name was apparently Smoke Farts and Hits SP. Okay, sure, thanks Google Translate. We then got a Gigalith, a Squirtle, followed by another Charmander. Feeling like we were on a hot streak, it was ruined when good old Pokeflash.co wanted to trade. Alright, Henry, you're going to Pokeflash.co, which I might bleep. Oh, I bet this isn't going to be a shiny level 100. Next was a German Meowth whose name translates to Coin Library. I don't know where he's storing those coins to make a whole library, and I don't think I want to know. Then we got a Glalie, a Mimikyu, another Combee, another Korean Impidimp, a Scorbunny. We're doing it, guys. Nothing can stop us. VGeeks.com. I bet this isn't a hacked-in level 100 shiny Pokemon named VGeeks.com. That'd be really... Now you're just rubbing it in. Next, we got a Bagon. That's awesome. And then... Oh, yeah, this is definitely not going to be a level 100 shiny Pokemon with username, this URL. Oh... Moving on, we got a Corviknight, a Leopard from Spain, a Gothita, which interestingly is one of the Pokemon I hold a completely unfounded hatred for, followed by a Natu, and then Caden sent me a Galarian Rapidash that he caught over a year and a half ago and actually trained up. Next up, a Skarmory, then the second weirdest dragon type of all, and a Alolan Exeggutor, followed by a Japanese Beartic that was caught over 3 years ago before finding his way to me. We got a Shelmet, a Noctowl, a Sudowoodo, another Litwick, a Gloom, a Pancham, a Bagon, a Mimikyu, and honestly guys, I was starting to lose hope around here. I needed something to keep me going. So I put my whole heart into the next trade, and I was defeated by a Timpole, and then a Dracloak, and I was close to taking a break and giving up. But finally, it happened. Oh, shit, yes! Okay, I really love Riolu. I just think he's cutest goddamn Pokemon out there. He's Japanese, and his original trainer was called Naki. He hatched that day, and, well, he was my new best friend. This reminded me why I was doing this. To find the gems, the treasure amongst the Toodles. So we got right back into it, and got the weirdest dragon type ever. Applin. Then a Dupiter, a Timpole, a Rookidee, another Charmander. God, why are there so many Charmanders? This is proof that Charmander is overrated these days. We got a Pidovey, a Snorunt, Timpole again, and then the gem was found. A Rowlet sent by Lil Share. Never mind, you're an amazing rapper, Rowlet, let's go! Woo! And then followed quickly after was a Boltund, who was actually caught about 2 months before on Route 2, the same place we were getting our Magikarp from. And he was only level 7 at the time. Kay, his trainer, leveled him up to level 45, and then for some reason decided to discard him. Don't worry, buddy. You're home now. Next, we got a time-traveling Linoon sent back from the year 2023. Tell me your secrets, Linoon. Next, we have a Quillfish, a Squavit, a Joltik, a Dubwool, and then a trainer named Yu abandoned the Toxel they'd leveled up to 28. We got an Aaron, a Cinccino, a Centiskorch, a Morpeko, a Hone Edge, a Vulpix, another Beartic, a Mincino, a Routes, a Slowpoke, another Applin, Kotomi, a Chansey, and then Magikarp Go! evolved. This Gyarados was caught Route 2 at level 6, which means they caught it the exact same place I caught my Magikarp, and then leveled them all the way up to evolve. I don't know what you did to make Yamashita send you to the void, but don't worry, you're safe now. Next was a Sandshrew followed by a Jangmo, and then for one of my personal favorites, I got a Tyrantrum that was level 69. Nice. We got a Bronzor, another Charmander, a Rookidee, another Eevee, and just like that, we were on to our final 6. We'd saved our favorites till last, our curry-loving, wet-slapping sound team, and it was time to say goodbye. First up was my Doodle. I am sending my Doodle to someone overseas. And in return, we received a Dreepy, who has been bred by Muffin and sent off to live with me now. I'll admit, this wasn't the best start. It made me worry the final moments wouldn't be worth it. I decided I need to use the carp named after the luckiest Pokemon master I could. If anyone could bring me good luck, it is Alpharad. We'll go from there. And in return, it worked. I mean, it's one of the all-time worst starters ever created, but it's a starter. Thank you, Alpharad. Let's go. Time to send our totally normal Magikarp, good riddance, and thanks for the Japanese Litwick. Next up, with just 3 left, we sent Tanuk to a trainer named Joe who got rid of his Swoobat. This gave me a nervous feeling for the finale and trepidation for the ending. It was time to send the penultimate fish. Everyone please salute as PU5513 Slayer gets sent to Michael. And all we get back is Mimikyu. I give this man some free pussy, he gives me a Mimikyu. Come on, man. But with that, the final moment was here. Our final fish, Carpe Diem. This was it. As we waited for our trade to go through, I couldn't help but look back at all the people we'd traded with, all the stories we'd read, all the turtles we hated. This made me feel like that 10-year-old kid sitting at McDonald's trading with strangers around the world again. A sense of sadness washed over me knowing the challenge was done, but satisfaction knowing we had made the world a more fishy place. And with that, it was time to seize the day. All right, here it is. Carpe Diem would be going to Pedro. How would this end? With a fizzle or a bang? Holy shit, that's a shiny Snorlax. Hot damn, Pedro. What a good way to end. Ah,